One of the challenges that you'll face when starting a freeze drying business is figuring out the cost to actually operate a freeze dryer. Not just freeze drying units that you can buy online through different countertop home freeze dryers, but when you start wanting to produce more and more product because you're trying to keep up with demand, you might be looking at the output of a commercial freeze dryer. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to Boreas Freeze Drying, which is a commercial freeze drying company that actually knows what they went into and what they had to figure out in order to calculate their cost to run a commercial freeze drying operation. Now, they're a little bit different in that they help companies that want to scale their production. So they offer toll freeze drying services, which just means that you can give them your product and then they'll freeze dry it for you and give it back to you. They also offer different services like milling, where you powderize your freeze dried product so you can add it as spices or different flavors and different types of products that you might want to produce. And they also offer co-packing services. This video is a collection of videos about this visit that I had at their facility. And so if you want to watch more videos, I've got thumbnails coming up at the end, as well as links in the video description that you can check out. If you haven't subscribed already, we're all about freeze drying and helping you start and grow a freeze drying business here. So if you haven't done already, subscribe now. Let's get to the interview and chat with Heath and Blaine at Boreas Freeze Drying. How do products need to be prepared?
Well, we can do some amount of processing as far as like a pre-cut. We don't do slicing here, but we can shred fruits into little pieces. That's mainly used if you're going to turn it into a powder at the end. But typically our suppliers that we work with and we direct people to, they can send it IQF frozen. It's pre-diced or sliced into whatever dimension you're looking for. Arrives at our facility, we freeze dry it and send it back.
You can get about any fruit on the planet in any size, shape, IQF shipped here.
A lot of like 10 millimeter dice, half-inch dice, 1-inch dice, which is a little bit big for freeze drying, but it can be done. Then you see just 6 millimeter slices, 9 millimeter slices. So there's some standard sizes out there that are pretty easy to get.
What certifications do you have so that you can really offer your services to anybody?
I didn't realize there's 1,000 certifications out there. Yeah. There really is. But we've really committed going down the path. And some of it, if the contract's right, we'll go out and get that certification if we need it.
Or say you want certified gluten-free or certified lactose-free. We can add on those certifications at any time. There's some costs involved, but it can be done in a relatively short amount of time.
Well, we've seen halal.
Halal is a new one. Yeah, for us.
If I have the business that I'm going to sell organic strawberries, but I want them freeze dried, do I have to work with the FDA or do you? What's all that go?
If you're just sourcing the material and sending it to us, or you're working with one of our suppliers, you can get organic certified as a company, but you aren't manufacturing the product, so they don't inspect your facility. So our facility is organic inspected. It's through an independent agency that's separate from the FDA. So organic product comes to us, we process it organically, send it back. And so you can actually have organic products that you sell and have co-manufacture without having any organic facility that you're processing food at.
You mentioned SQF. What does that mean for the average person?
It means that we're holding ourselves and our facility, all of our processes, to the highest standards of food safety. It's an internationally recognized food safety certification and program. Typically in Europe you'll see BRC. Over here it's SQF, but it's something that if you're doing a private label deal for a retailer like Walmart, they're going to require that. Costco typically requires it, Target requires it. So depending on the type of product that you're selling, it has to be made in an SQF certified facility.
And so if I'm a company too that maybe I'm selling domestically, but I've got opportunities to sell internationally, that certification would help me get those deals kind of more legit.
Absolutely.
Question about kind of the name that you have. So Boreas, like Heath, how'd you come up with this name?
Yeah, it was, we were trying,
months of trying to find a name.
I think me and him were on a road trip one time, and I think we spent 8 freaking hours in the car, literally tossing names back and forth, and they all sucked.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Midwest Freeze Dry? It's a freeze drying company. How are you going to do it? But I was like, man, we got to come up with some sort. I like the idea of building a brand. I was like, not sure that it matters, but at least it's fun. And so we came up one night. I just said, man, I'm going to look into Greek gods. Surely there's got to be like Greek gods. There's Greek gods for everything, right? So I was like, looked up the Greek god for things that are frozen. And so Boreas comes up, and he's actually a Greek god of the north wind, and everything that he breathed on or blew on actually froze instantly. And so I was like, well, that's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but whatever. Yeah, it's kind of badass. And so now we even take it further. All of our units, all of our machines, we give them Greek god names. So I've got Hercules, and I've got Zeus, and I got Medusa as far as machines. And so we're just kind of going with that Greek god themes because why not, man?
Kind of going back to just some background. So you're in Mount Vernon, Missouri. Why this area to decide to build a commercial freeze drying company?
Well, number one, we're born and raised here, and we're right on Interstate 44. So we actually have, a line of transportation in and out. It's one of the most traveled highways for semis. So thought, why not here? Business is not like it used to be. The people can ship anything, anywhere. It all used to be centralized in cities, and it still has its advantages and stuff like that. But we're centrally located right in the heart of the United States. It just made sense to us. And it was also, whenever you're talking about a commercial freeze drying facility, there's a lot of power consumption that goes along with these things. So it was a unique challenge to try to find the right building that we were trying to find a building like the one we're in that actually had a lot of the power requirements already built into it, because it's not a cheap undertaking to actually take that type of three-phase power to a new facility.
Yeah.
So,
Which we searched from Tulsa to Kansas City, St. Louis.
yeah.
I mean, we looked everywhere for a building, and this one came up, and it was just perfect.
Yep. And it's 10 minutes from the house, so works out great. So
Now, given your kind of experience now kind of setting up this type of business, what type of unforeseen costs have come up? Are there things that people don't know about today that you're like, we found out?
I would say, as far as like if you're talking about commercial freeze drying machines, you got the cost of getting it from that actual company. Yeah, they'll come out and hook it up and stuff, but when you're talking like an additional 60 to 80 grand for plumbing and electrical hookups and stuff like that, we found out about it before it happened, but we didn't find out that amount of price right on the front end. So it was a little bit of a sticker shock, but everything's been a sticker shock, to be quite honest. I have sticker shock every time I go to the damn grocery store. So
It's a sticker shock for a lot of people because it's like most people who are watching this video or are into freeze drying, they have a home freeze dryer, and when they plug it in to a 220 outlet, it just runs $8 to $10 for the electricity per cycle. I think that's why it seems like it's intimidating to get a commercial freeze drying machine, because you have all these added costs. But you found an opportunity to make a lot more money out of it.
we decided to go toll products for other people. We plan on just kind of being that bridge for the small entrepreneurs that are looking to scale up. You don't have the cash flow yet to buy the commercial machines. It's like maybe you need a stopgap there of a tolling facility to sit there, and maybe we can toll runs for you for a year or two, and thousands of pounds at a time, as opposed to whatever you're able to do at home. You prove the concept through that first with minimal risk and minimal capital output. It helps a lot of people like that. And we help a lot of farmers around here. Elderberries are really big here, the American elderberries. It's actually kind of the capital right here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the
And,
largest producers in North America, I believe, are here within a 100-mile radius or so.
And your elderberries freeze dry?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do that. Elderberries is a big thing. So I think the world got turned on to that during COVID. And so, but my grandparents and everybody's been using elderberries for however long. So it's really a great medicinal plant, but they grow a lot of it around here. And we'd heard a statistic from one of the farmers, maybe it wasn't elderberries, but aronia berries.
Aronia berries, yeah.
Last year alone, they had to throw out over 1 million pounds that went bad of their crop because they didn't have a way to preserve it. So we can help out in that area too, and we do.
We've got a lot more coming up in this video. I've got an actual tour of the facility that I'm standing right now at Boreas Freeze Drying in Mount Vernon, Missouri. You're going to see all the different phases that go on when they commercially freeze dry your potential product.
you.